I can understand why new Copernicans value experience over information, because it was that experience that changed my life. As a kid, I grew up in a Southern Baptist family, and I was absolutely convinced that there was one true God who was defined by a person named Jesus, and that everyone who didn't understand that God in a particular way would forever be separated from him. And through my own life experiences and my own journey, I started to look deeper into that story. And there's a great quote from a guy named Heisenberg, and he said that the first gulp from the glass of the natural sciences will turn you into an atheist, but God is waiting for you at the bottom of that glass. And in very true form, as I began to study science in a new way, questioning my most fundamental assumptions about reality, I became an atheist and rejected not only my understanding of God from my childhood and young adulthood, but any understanding of God as a being or a creator. In my own story, though, God was not done. Through a few circumstances, I found myself in Laguna Beach, California, at a conference of Christians, the only atheists there. And I had a life-changing experience there. And essentially, I found myself standing on the beach about 3 o'clock in the morning, looking out into the waves of the Pacific Ocean. And what's interesting is that night it was very dark, especially for LA. And I looked and saw the sky, which was black, and the sea, which was also black. And I could not see where the sky ended and the ocean began. All I knew is that there was a massive force in front of me that I couldn't see. And I thought, as a metaphor for God went, that was pretty good for me in that moment. I didn't know what I believed about God. I just knew that there was something stirring in me, something almost waiting to be born. And I stood out on the beach and I began to pray towards a God who I didn't know. I said, God, I don't know who you are. I don't know anything about you. And I can't understand why the Bible is so weird and so backward and so self-contradictory. I just know that I've missed you. I finally got to the point where I just was honest with God and said, I don't know what's happening. I just know that somehow tonight I met Jesus again. And when I said the word Jesus, the waves rushed up the beach. The tide was going out, but suddenly they rushed forward and they soaked my feet, washing all the sand off my shoes. And I had this visual in my mind of this man who I thought was a myth washing the feet of his disciples before the crucifixion and that last supper together. And I felt as if Jesus himself was washing my feet, which is an absurd notion. It has absolutely no basis in rational thought. But as I sort of contemplated that image, I said out loud, is this really happening? And when I said that, the world fell away. And I lost all sense of time or space or physical proximity. And I felt a sense of connection to the source of all, and through that source of all, to all other life on this planet. And I felt a sense of complete wholeness, complete peace, and total love. I was left with a million questions. How? Why? Who is God? But a rational resolution of those questions did not seem relevant compared to the incredible power of standing face to face with the Almighty.